All right, guys, welcome to yet another installment of Extreme Airsoft 6-year strong birthday bash. I am sitting here with the elusive Airsoft Unicorn. It seems unicorns do exist, and they exist here in Rhode Island. So, I've got to ask, as a connoisseur of CQB facilities that you are, how... Oh, come on. You traveled all the way to Hawaii to play Airsoft.
Yeah.
Now, you got to get some trigger time in yesterday with your adoring fans and a lot of the players. Now, expectations, because I know you and Jet have probably talked about this place. He was here last year, so he probably gave you a little bit of a layout.
Yeah.
But, expectations versus reality. What do you think?
It's a lot of fun. I knew it would be quick. It was a little more speed softy than I had thought it would be, but it's cool. I played, you can tell. I've got welts everywhere. Most of them are from Jet, but it's cool. I gave him a lot too. So, the field is awesome. I like how much detail is into the field. Especially my favorite part is actually that high voltage area where you can pull the things down. I just want to pull one down and make it go.
Fun side note, we do pride ourselves on interactive props, and that is one thing we in the future are actually looking to wire those junction boxes.
That's awesome.
To actually not only possibly, depending on what we do, possibly control some of the power on the fields. So, when you fight for power, you're fighting for power, literally.
That will be awesome. So cool.
Now, how's the trip out from California? Is this year, I know you've been to New York for your baseball games.
Yeah.
She's a Spankies fan. Now... We won't judge her for that here in good old Rhode Island.
People judge me anyway. Go ahead.
You just let the rings do the talking.
Yeah.
So, this is probably the furthest up in the Northeast you've been. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It is. It's the first time for everything. This is my first time in Rhode Island. I've only experienced a very small portion of it, but Rhode Island's very small. So it's been a lot of fun. Everybody's been super hospitable, which is cool because there's always the stereotype of the Northeast. It's they're mean or whatever, or
we just talk fast.
Yeah, but no, it's been really fun. Everybody's super cool. It's great.
You have been a very highly anticipated individual to come here. You've been being shouted at, screamed at on social media. Come to Rhode Island. Come to Rhode Island. We got teased by it last year. You almost got to make it out, and then unfortunately things transpired and you couldn't.
Yeah.
But you're here now, and in regards to the actual airsoft community, I know there's a huge community in the West Coast for airsoft. Absolutely enormous community. It's the mecca of airsoft. How much have you heard about Northeastern Airsoft and the player base and things like that, and how does that stack up to what you're actually seeing in person?
I've heard I have a few friends just through Airsoft that are from this area that I've met at different Milsim games, like Sisu Milsim. She's coming here today. I'm so excited to meet her in person for the first time. Yeah.
I didn't even know she was coming.
She is, surprise! I've heard about Airsoft here. I heard it's from other people. It's a pretty tight community here, right? And everybody seems super stoked. Honestly, I think people in SoCal are spoiled because we have so many fields and so many people and so many huge stores and distributors. So they get stuff all the time. So it's really cool to travel to a place where people appreciate what their field owners are doing a lot more. That's been cool to see. Everybody seems to really appreciate this field, this store, which is something that I like to emphasize. So it's really cool that a lot of people are really invested in their local community as opposed to just talking crap on the internet.
Keyboard commandos. Their fair share of those everywhere, but...
they don't actually play Airsoft, so they're not here.
I know, right? But that's really good to hear, and it's actually cool that she's coming. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's cool.
I'm here soon.
And I talked with P90 Girl, and I talked with a couple of the distributors about the basically the overall showing of force in airsoft when it comes to companies and diversity. in the Northeast. And having been a sales rep for one of the companies who's actually in attendance, and when you think about the Northeast, you think that, I mean, primarily it's territorial. Did you expect to see so much diversity in the players' equipment, what you're seeing in the store, and what you're seeing in company representation? And usually there's a lot of, you see this more on the West Coast or towards the Midwest where the companies are based. And it was a kind of a surprise to see so much of a showing up kind of out of the way of everybody except for Polar Star, who's in our backyard over in Delaware.
Right. I know, since I worked for a distributor before, I know it's really hard to get all of the distributors and kind of all of the more well-known people, or whatever you want to call it. It's really hard to get them all in one spot. And for a store or field to do that, especially out here on the East Coast, it's pretty remarkable. So huge shout out to you guys, and
Thank you.
that's awesome. I hope you guys really appreciate everything that they're doing for you, because they're throwing so much time and money into this. It's unreal. So make sure that you support your local field, because they're doing a lot for you, and most other fields and stores don't want to put in all of the work and time and money that it takes to pull off an event like this.
All the nights until 4 a.m. that we put in this past week for you guys, and we just hope that it's worth it for all of you.
Thank you.
Oh, all right, guys, that's it for me and the Unicorn. She's gonna go out and stab some more people with her horn, and we'll probably see you later in some of the after party footage.
Thank you so much for having me. Can't wait to come back, hopefully again next year. It's gonna be bigger and better. I don't know how it can get bigger, but it's gonna be so big.
All right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys later.
I feel like we're Power Rangers.
I know, Blue Ranger,
Wild Berry Ranger.
Strawberry Ranger,
Berry
and Blueberry
Ranger.
Ranger. We're Power Rangers. PPQ Power Rangers.